Justin Rowan, Phil Boileau, getting it in for you guys. We're going to start at what we perceive to be the worst team in the NBA, and we actually agreed on this one. The Philadelphia 76ers. There's a lot to like and a lot to hate about this team. Justin, when we're looking at ESPN.com, their projected starting lineup with the likes of Tony Roten, Robert Covington, J- J- Jeremy Grant. See, it's that bad that I'm actually having trouble saying these names. I don't think these guys are winning a lot of games. Nerlens Noel, who actually had a great second half last season, and Jalil Okafor, with hopefully we'll ever see the NBA Joel Embiid as their ghost six man. What strikes you about these guys off the bat?
Well, the first thing you got to remember is Joel Embiid's actually out for the year. He's had a setback with his foot, so he's out for the year. Obviously, they're building for the draft. Their bigs are pretty exciting. I think Okafor is going to be an easy candidate for Rookie of the Year. He can score right off the bat, and he's going to get tons of touches with not a lot of NBA players on Philly. So I think this is the first year where they got Noel, they got Okafor. They're kind of moving forward with that and trying to build around those two.
Absolutely. And one of the more unheralded pickups of the offseason, I thought, was Nick Stauskas from the Sacramento Kings. Using their cap flexibility, we'll say, to pick up a few unwanted pieces, Carl Landry and some other cap relief. Nick Stauskas didn't get much of a shot there in Sacramento, but he was drafted 8th overall. So the guy does have talent. Do you see potentially this being, a nice pickup for them, or is Nick Stauskas potentially following the Anthony Bennett Canadian draft trend of being drafted a little higher than he should be?
Well, I don't. Stauskas was probably drafted a little bit higher than he should be, but the thing is, unlike Anthony Bennett, Stauskas actually has an NBA skill. He can shoot. He didn't really show a ton of that in Sacramento, but I think the team focus was a little bit different there. While Philly, I like Roden, but I don't love their point guards. They're going to be able to create some opportunities for Stauskas, but I think just he's going to be able to learn from trial by fire. He's going to get a lot of opportunities there. You mentioned getting Carl. I believe they got Carl Landry as well as Jason Thompson, which they flipped Jason Thompson to Golden State for
Gerald Wallace.
But I thought Thompson was going to help them a lot, but I guess in Philly they're not really trying to win yet. But with Stauskas, Okafor, Noel, you got some pretty high picks that in theory should fit together if they were ever deciding to build a team around them.
Absolutely. So, looking forward, obviously this team's building through the draft. Do you think they ever kind of bite the bullet and say, we're tired of doing this and sign some free agents? Or, I suppose my question is, how long do you think we're in for this project? Because, look, I'm a closet GM more than a player, so I actually appreciate what they're doing, but I look at them like they really need help on the wing, really need help at point guard. So maybe they find it during the draft, but we both know the draft isn't a sure thing. Do you think they just play this until they get their 4 or 5 guys they really like, or are they going to start spending money first and getting a little bit impatient? Because the fan base has to be at this point.
I don't, you know what, the thing about Philly fans, if you ever do interact with them, if you ever go to Liberty Ballers, which is the SB Nation site for the Sixers, they have a slavish devotion to Sam Hinkie and their model. I think what they're trying to do is more similar to the Houston Rockets, how they collected assets and traded for an established guy in James Harden. If you're not aware, they traded Michael Carter-Williams for the Lakers' first-round pick this year. I don't think the Lakers are going to be that good, and it's only top 4 protected, I believe, this year. So if they get another high pick, they get the Lakers' high pick, which is probably going to be top 10, and you can also put a Stauskas in there. You might be able to trade for an established star, which is what I think they're looking to do next summer, and pair him with Okafor, pair him with Noel. Maybe they throw Embiid in there as well. So I think they're not going to start spending money until next summer when they've made that trade for a star or an established player to go along with Okafor and probably Noel, if I had to guess.
Absolutely, and we've also heard other rumors of Nerlens Noel learning to shoot the corner 3, maybe space the offense a little bit better. Who knows? that'll go, obviously. But having Okafor and Emmett in a league deprived of centers, I know they're big guys, but could be some trade chips. So I think we're both in agreement that this year is going to be another tough one to swallow. I mean, if you're a Philly fan, you're on the Hinkie train there. I guess you live with it, but this is going to be probably the worst team in the league. But if you had to shout out to the Philly fans and look for something to look forward to this season, what would be your pick?
Well, I think they do actually have a fair bit to kind of look forward to. Like even last year, like they were really bad, but they were still an entertaining team. Like they play an entertaining style of basketball. Their offense is great. Like I love what the coaching staff has done. They're a very well coached team. I enjoyed watching them more than other bad teams like the Magic, the Lakers, teams like that. Like they run the right sets. And I think with Okafor, you get someone that's incredibly offensively polished. They're not going to have a ton of space for him to operate, but he's going to be a beast. Between him and Noel, like there's going to be exciting basketball for Philly. It's just not going to translate to a lot of wins. They might get the odd upset win for against a big team that's not taking them seriously, but I think they're going to be a lot of fun.
All right, well, I can see that. And just as the last one, I'll just throw, as I always do, who's a better player next year, Okafor or Stauskas?
Oh, it's Okafor. Sure. I think Okafor is probably the leader in the clubhouse for Rookie of the Year. Like I think he's got a really good shot at a given Philly situation. I mean, Michael Carter-Williams won Rookie of the Year in Philly, and he's barely a basketball player.
Although Carter-Williams had the ball in his hand, right? Okafor is a little more predicated on being fed, and I think I'll end up disagreeing with you down the road with a certain someone from the Denver Nuggets, but we shall see. And as a last note, Brett Brown, by the way, I'm not convinced he's their head coach once they figure this out. I think he's just holding the training wheels for now, and they bring someone more established.
I really, really like him.
Maybe I'm wrong. Look, I have nothing against him. I've just heard the rumor mills going around, and I know the NBA is a harsh place to play and to coach. All right, so that has been the Philadelphia 76ers. We have them ranked number 30. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below. From Justin and myself, Phil. Catch you next time in the lounge.